that's kind of like when I think of Method NA. They always have these strategies where it's like they do their one-hit moment and then they play as safe as possible, where there's no possible way they could lose just with the way they position and with their strategy, and then they do their one-shot moment and then they run away and safe, conservative, and it's just those rinse repeat setups that makes them so devastating. It's so hard to actually beat them because of that as well.
Yeah, pretty much every team in the North American region kind of struggles against Method NA, and you know, to your point, Zico, back about with Brain adapting to playing that Resto Shaman, I wonder after this draft if we can actually get a stats card for Brain, because it is interesting seeing him on another spec and also, you know, to be winning. So well done, grabbing another spec, kind of adapting a little bit, and they're able to secure those victories as we are seeing. They locked in Hook Point on the side of Shadowward Chicken, and we're going to see what exactly they're going to be locking in very, very shortly. But they've kind of haven't really switched it up too much with this team here, Sid.
And they're not going to here. Picking the small map, sticking with the Feral Warrior despite getting doubled in damage. Didn't feel like there was really too much pressure. And Prev was actually playing Surrender to Madness, so he was actually hitting himself for a lot of damage and having to use Greater Fade to immune it. So I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this lock-in from Shadowward Chicken. I wonder if how would Warrior Shadow Priest do into Windwalker Shadow Priest, and bring Jawa in instead of Dippy. Having these two melee stacked up seems like Drake is just going to punish them so heavily. And he's getting a ton of extra damage because of it. Whereas bringing in maybe a Shadow Priest and having the range between them and just having a Warrior versus a Windwalker in this matchup, I would have thought that would have been what they wanted to go for, but also taking Hook Point as a cleave map might not be a bad idea. Maybe they change their strategy. Maybe they just tunnel Shaman, but I really doubt it. But I kind of want to see it. It seems like Shamans are really tested when they're tunneled at the moment. And I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I kind of doubt we will.
Oh, there's this
higher win rate on Shaman.
1%.
I wish we had the play percentage for those two specs, but I mean that's pretty solid. It is funny that it's a 1% higher win rate on Shaman.
Yep, I mean he's been looking really good. I mean, Method NA, they've really mixed it up. I'd say in Battle for Azeroth, it was basically all Fire Mage Paladin, Fire Mage Paladin with either a Moonkin or a Windwalker Monk was like 99% of their games. But coming into Shadowlands, showing a little bit more versatility. You know, Drake picking up the Assassination Rogue, picking up the Warrior, looking really good on those three specs. You know, Prev kind of transitioning away from the Moonkin, picking up Shadow Priest, Thralium, still playing Fire Mage, but it's worked for them so far. I mean, it seems like this is all they need. There hasn't been a single team they've ran into where it seems like they don't have a good answer. So I think the amount they play, the amount they practice, it really, you know, it shows in all of their series.
Yeah, most definitely does. And let's see if they can secure a second victory here on Hook Point.
All right, we got Method NA versus Shadowward Chicken here. And for Method NA, not really standing on the line, but for them, they still want to try to push and potentially try to finish first in the region. And of course, Shadowward Chicken here, they are in that big tie for fourth place. So for them, they really want to pick up a win here. If you're a fan of OTK, you want Shadowward Chicken to lose here. So because they are tied with you. So we're going to see exactly how things play out in terms of standings right now. Gates are opened, and Rebels got the Necrotic banner down right now from looking for pressure. Gets disarmed here. Nicely done by Drake. And a lot of pressure, big chunk of damage there connects on Prev here as he is interrupted. And the Earthmore Totem will be placed down to try to deflect some of that pressure. Prev's still, though, not out of the woods yet. Still taking a lot of damage here, but I'm a little bit worried because whenever you have two melees stacking on the Shadow Priest, I feel like Drake has a field day. Usually when that happens, right now they're going for a setup. There it is, spinning, cranking. Oh, and there is the Maladacting channeling. There's the Siphon. Rebels trying to kill it. And they force out basically everything from Dippy there, and Drake is not done yet, Sid.
Yeah, he's going to be lining up a lot more damage here. in the near future. They still have momentum. Looks like Dilbar immune. Incoming crowd control now. Silence to follow up. Dippy's on the back foot. Another spinning crane kick connects. Another spinning crane kick connects into a leg sweep. Whirling dragon punch. Tons of damage. Dilbar in a paralyze. Looking to close out the game here. Dippy is on the run, retreating around the corner. Krev is channeling out a Fleshcraft to take advantage of the downtime. Try and get that bolstered shield. Revo pulling back to his teammate. Swapping to the Windwalker. Getting dampened harm. Drake's going to be fine. Trading that cooldown. Now he's going back after Revo. And I can imagine Revo just staring at his D stance, making sure he doesn't swap into battle stance when he's near Drake. That is likely the main reason that they lost game one. Dippy once again on the run. He's just never able to really stay in the fight that long. Drake rolls over to Dilbar, looking for an interrupt, maybe a swap. Dilbar gonna Fleshcraft after the interrupt. Gets Windshear after for follow-up. Good play by Brain. Krev is trying to get in the line of sight. Paralyzed into Psychic Scream. Can Krev get there? Psychic Scream triggered into silence. Dippy could be in trouble if there's a Side Fiend here. Side Fiend comes down onto Dippy. That's going to reduce a ton of damage onto Dippy. Is he going to be able to survive this hit? Dilbar goes for Ascendance, trying to power through the pain of the whirling dragon punches of Drake. Nice Earthcraft Totem onto the pets, stalling the damage. Revo goes into battle stance. Is Revo going to regret this? Double leg sweep onto his allies. Look at the damage. Dilbar and Dippy just getting chunked down to 50%, trying to spread out here and recover. Dippy's going after Drake. Revo's going after Prev. Prev is forced to use Greater Fade. Dippy manages to recover. Prev is pulled back into the fight, and we have to look at the damage that was done. No medallion for Dilbar is going to be a scary situation. Method and A are in a good place.
Yeah, definitely at this point. Let's see what they can get done. Dippy right now going to be on the run once again. Further Wall Totem drops down for Prev. He's going to be A-OK. A big setup here onto Dippy. Uses the Barskin. Silence on Dilbar. Drake's going to turn his attention back on the Revo. Allow them to potentially stack up in about 15 seconds. He's got his leg sweep available. This is Gwen as well. Bone Dust Brew is going to be rotating up. And I would say Method and A, they have a huge hit of damage. Just depends on where they decide to put it. Grapple weapon here on Revo, slowing his damage down. And Prev has just done under basically no pressure in this matchup so far. I don't think they've been able to force out a dispersion whatsoever. Maybe go after Drake a little bit more. Lock the Monk, although they're able to put a ton of damage. They can be vulnerable to being trained down, but maybe they don't want to go for that line of play as it frees Prev a little bit too much in the matchup. But I almost wonder if Shadow War Chicken needs a little bit of a strategy change right now, because what they're doing doesn't appear to be working. Here's a big Bone Dust Brew. Double leg sweep, huge damage on Dilbar. Spinning crane kick didn't do too much though. So it looks like Drake, unfortunately, not able to get too much done there on Dilbar. It was a really, really nice astral shift by him, avoiding a lot of that incoming damage, and Shadow War Chicken managed to weather the storm.
That was a very crucial astral shift coming out from Dilbar because he was about to get dusted. But now it could be Dippy here on the back foot. Prev is looking for the fear. He gets it. Dilbar immediate trinket spirit link. That's going to be the roar coming out from Dippy as well. Fleshcraft here from Dilbar. Now Dilbar extremely exposed as a target. No astral shift, no trinket, no nothing. And same thing goes for Dippy here. Both of them are in big trouble. That leg sweep is coming up for Drake in about 15 seconds. And I mean, he has a buffet of targets to pick from here. And the only one who can do anything about it is going to be Revo. The man on your screen to the right there, he's going to need to do something here to save his team from the danger and the storm that is Drake.
All right, let's see if they can survive the next assault here. Drake is just building up damage. Tries to get a Ring of Peace into a double. Not able to find it. Dilbar repositions. Brain Fleshcrafts the Hex. Prev takes a huge hit. Drake gets stunned up. It looks like they're going for split damage, but this Earthen Wall Totem from Brain is going to get big value. And here comes the spinning crane kick, scaring Dippy away. Mana not comfortable, but at least even for the Shamans at this point. Double stun lock. Big push onto Dippy in game two. Will he just go down? Shackles of Malediction getting huge value. He holds on, but it is not enough. Touch of Death connects, and Method and A move to match point.
Your temple lies in ruin.
Really, really close
Your
game.
brethren
In a way, I mean, Shadow War Chicken, unfortunately, wasn't able to find too much pressure, but they did hold on for a lot longer than that game number one. Method and A, though, with unrelenting pressure, unrelenting setups. This just seems like, once again, Method and A comes with a composition perfectly hand-tailored for the team they're playing against. It just seems like, I don't know. I really don't know what Shadow War Chicken's going to do in this one, because Method and A seems more than prepared for them.
Yeah, it looked kind of rough. I feel like Shadow War Chicken, I just don't like that they don't have a Shadow Priest you know, like it's like they're kind of living up to their name without the Shadow Priest. They're just chicken, they're just running. Like, when I look at Method NA, they have everything, you know, they brain his link the whole game, he's never used it, he has trinket, he's always just chilling, able to do whatever he wants and just keep his team aggressive. And it really is Drake that sets up a lot of these plays, but also, of course, Rev on the Shadow Priest, super deadly here, setting up a lot of these setups to get Dilbar's trinket with his psychic screams.
I don't have a
Drake,
target.
kind of catching Dippy and able to cut him down. And then, I mean, here you kind of know whenever you use your Shaman's trinket, Spirit Link, and you probably use all of his defensives, it just becomes an impossible situation for Dilbar because he has to predict damage on 2 targets. And he can't really do too much about it. You know, if he tries to keep himself alive, his Feral can die. If he tries to keep his Feral alive, he can die. And at this point, Rebel, I think, is that he actually doesn't have a spear for 15 seconds. So the Rebel, really unfortunate timing as well. He doesn't have his spear right now. He would love to be able to use it here. I think he should have trinketed that stun at least and try to maybe get an intervene a little bit earlier or something. But this setup is just too clean, full fear, full paralyzed. Drake rolls in, they have the malediction, they have the touch of death, and it's just too much burst damage, too much healing absorbed for the Feral to, you know, just counteract it with his own heals. And they just clean CC as well there from Drake
It's
and
too
Proud.
far away.
Method NA looking extremely solid. Shadow Word Chicken is yet to win a game in this series, and they may not have a chance at all. Method NA very close to winning this series 3-0. They've got one more chance though on the side of Shadow Word Chicken to turn things around. However, they're going to have to win 3 games in a row, and that is no easy task against Method NA. This team has been so solid for so long. Like I said earlier, every team in the North American region has struggled here against Method NA, and Shadow Word Chicken is no different. When they were interviewed earlier, actually, there's two dads on this team. There's 2 fathers on this team. I think it was Jawa and Dilbar, and they said when they first signed up as a team, they kind of wanted to see if they could still hang in there as players and play in a competitive environment once again. And honestly, like, they kind of struggled a little bit earlier on here in the circuit, but they're definitely catching up. Method NA, that was going to be a hard task from the beginning, but we're going to see what exactly they can do as we head into game number 3. They have locked in Tiger's Peak. We're seeing Method NA with that Shadow Priest Windwalker once again. Now Shadow Word Chicken is going to respond to Baptiste.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're a Shadow Word Chicken fan, they're going to need your energy. If you're an OTK fan or a Golden Guardians fan, though, you've got to be cheering on Method NA, because putting Shadow Word Chicken behind just increases the chances of those teams slipping into that 4th place position. And right now, Method NA are looking good. I mean, if they have Shadow Priest comps as well as the Fire Mage Paladin compositions, they've pretty much well-rounded a significant portion of the meta. They're going to be a really big threat in the top 4. And now Shadow Word Chicken, they're on their last rope here. Hopefully they're going to be able to come back strong and come up with a different composition, because this Heraldry Warrior doesn't seem like it's doing enough. I really don't see potential in it. There's never a point where I'm thinking, oh, this is how they can win, and they're so close to it. They're just tripping at the finish line. It's more like Method NA show, and they are going to be tapping out Dippy, bringing in JWAP, and we're going to be having Warrior versus Windwalker. Who is the best one-shotter of them all?
Who is the best one-shotter? Who do you think wins this one then, Sid?
I think
Druid.
Windwalker has the best one-shot. Wait,
You
what?
think so too, Zico? You answered that pretty quickly.
Did you say Druid? Oh.
Yes, it's true.
I thought you said Druid. I was like,
Pretty ridiculous. There's no druids here anymore, CPT. There was one, and he's on the bench now.
Okay, well, I mean, we will
It feels
see. It's
bad.
good. Yeah, it's kind of Windwalker versus Warrior here. I mean, what? I know that you guys are saying the Windwalker in this case has the advantage, but is that because it's Drake on the Windwalker, or because it's just a better spec in this situation?
a little bit of both.
You will be
Jinx.
brought to
Sounds good.
justice.
You don't wanna get
One
into
of
that
the
more.
more
They're just leaving it as that, just both.
Yeah, I mean, Drake is just probably one of the most experienced, along with Trill, maybe. Windwalker's in the game, just playing for so long, so he's min-maxed everything, right? Like, he's probably flying on autopilot at a BlizzCon champion level for Windwalker month. So
Kind of
for
looks
him,
like it from his camera view.
for him personally, the experience and the time is there, and then also spinning crane kick is in a really good position. So you put all that time and experience, and then his ability to focus on where he's putting those timings, then he's going to be like an unstoppable force. If it was a really underexperienced Windwalker versus an underexperienced Warrior, I think Warrior probably wins more often than not. Like the Windwalker's got to know the timings, how to work around surviving while finding the timings. But when you're playing at skill cap, I'm giving the edge to Windwalker.
Yeah, most definitely. It seems like we may have a delay going on behind the scenes. Not sure who that came from, which side either, but we can take a look at the player cams. It doesn't really look like much is being discussed, really. I see Revo talking just a little bit, but any guess as to what's going on, Zico?
They're probably just discussing strats here. It's a tough situation to be in, right? Like, you kind of have to win this game to still have a shot at qualifying. Well, you don't have to necessarily. Everyone else loses too. But you know, right? You want to be in control of your destiny, and you want to win this game. And if you manage to get a win against Method NA, you know, I think Universe is the only team that's been able to do it, right? So I think for Shadowwood Chicken, you want to be one of those teams. This is a team that's soaking up a lot of the points, that is beating everybody else. So it's going to be you out of the competition. Now you find yourselves in a situation where your backs are against the wall and you're down, you know, 0-2. And you're up against Drake, and he's just spinning around all over the map, and leading everything like a hurricane. And it's a tough situation, but you just got to keep your morale up. Hopefully, J-Wall, you know, he's just fresh, you know, and so maybe he's got some good pointers for the team, and he can lift up the spirit and kind of lead the charge.
Yeah, we'll definitely see if this swap can make a difference here on the side of Shadowword Chicken, but you're definitely right. Drake on that, you know, spin crane kick definitely has to be an intimidating thing to go against, especially in such a small map like Hook Point. When you were saying that, it was reminding me of like a wrecking ball, or what was the? You didn't say wrecking ball. You said something else, but
is it hurricane? Like the cartoon, the guy who spins, right?
Tasmanian Devil.
Tasmanian Devil. That's what it is.
Yes. If anybody's in the
gave
chat
me good meme
wants to,
content.
That's great.
I was gonna give it to Chad, but yeah, you should definitely make that Stetson.
Whoever makes that. I want my royalties. I want my likes.
I have a better one. I have a better one.
Cannot rest until
I was gonna say like came in like a wrecking ball, like Miley Cyrus in the map. No. I'm not
will
kidding.
leave the other here
Just
while my
silence.
disciples bring you to the
What?
necropolis.
I said sorry. I
Let
listen
us
to rap music.
end this atrocity.
Oh, okay. I mean, all right. I mean, it's not like I sit around and listen to Miley Cyrus. It's just you said I came in like a hurricane, and it reminded me of that song. Anyways, we're gonna get this game started very quickly. I think definitely have a delay going on, which I think you can infer that one of these sides, probably most likely Shadowword Chicken, use their delay timer, which they are allowed, of course, in the rules, because they are running out of time to stay in this series. They have Method NA on match points, so if they lose this series, but they could win this one, but that means that they have to win 2 subsequent games after that. And so this was kind of an impossible situation from the beginning for Shadowword Chicken. But I mean, maybe with this comp swap, they can at least take off 1 game here, Ben.
Yeah, putting 1 point on the board, I think, would be a victory for them. Big problem for Shadowword Chicken is the fact that they're so many games behind. And Method NA also has the option to cleave. So seen what happens to Shadow Priest against an enhanced warrior, and Method NA always has that in their back pocket. So I think for Shadowword Chicken, they got to take this 1 game at a time right now, and let's see if they can do it. It's going to be Rebel on the warrior versus Drake on the Windwalker monk. Method NA versus Shadowword Chicken. Shadowword Chicken needs a reverse sweep if they want to stay in it. Method NA so far looking absolutely dominant. Paralyzed now on Delvar. It looks like they do want to go after Jawa, but Jawa in a position where basically Prev's not going to be able to assist with any kind of damage. Delvar kind of blasting Drake right now, and it seems like Shadowword Chicken kind of taking a defensive posture.
Yeah, we're gonna see here it can actually manage to get some pressure as well. With the
Oh no!
Rebel right now is in big danger. He's gonna trade. He's gonna put all his points. There's a Siphon of the Rebel. He leaps away from it. The Siphon is gonna get full value here, and things are not looking great right now for Shadowword Chicken. But Rebel manages to actually get a double fear here. He's trying to turn things around here, trying to get aggressive. And this is when he looks at his best, when he gets to be the one who decides the tempo.
Ooh.
And right now, Prev actually doing a lot of damage here. Big pressure coming out. That's going to force out the drink. But Rebel now in massive trouble. They got a full field on Dilbar. He might need to trinket that one. He's trying to hold it. J-Wall with a beautiful grip. He goes for the Shadow Man. He gets kicked. He goes for the Master Spell. And it looks like maybe Rebel will survive. It's hard to tell right now because he's still at 50% HP. Finally, Dilbar is going to be able to pick him back up. So let's see. Here comes Rebel now, trying to turn things back around on J-Wall. No greater fade. And this could be the dispersion here. Big pressure coming in. And this comp is looking a lot better here for Shadowwood Chicken. Both teams so far trading cooldowns.
Yeah, pretty evenly matched here. The Necrolord banner for the spinning crane kick, a test of one-shots. Neither player going down to that massive burst damage. Dilbar getting a lot of extra damage for his team here. Going for lava bursts. Maybe that makes a difference ultimately at the end of this game. Revo disarmed as Prev is low health. Love the shackles onto that little undead mage of J-Waz. Both priests are playing Necrolord. Actually, this is the first time this has happened. All 6 players are playing Necrolord. Spinning crane kick comes in onto Revo. He survives it, stabilized by the earthen wall. Needs to likely move over and kill that Scythe Fiend. He's kind of being greedy by letting it stay alive. Doesn't look like there's too much to punish him for leaving it up that long, though. Now Drake goes back onto J-Waz. Hex over onto Drake. Gonna break. It's kind of the 1v1 here in between where J-Waz trying to hit Prev actually, but he's falling behind. Prev's falling behind as well actually. Prev just charging in for a psychic scream onto Dilbar. Master spell science, but a triple leg sweep. Where's the duster? Where is the spinning crane kick? Drake doesn't look like he's got a proc in that position to go for it. Holding on to it for now. Revo's in battle stance. You can tell that Method and Nate are just waiting to swap to him. Popping the avatar, trying to get aggressive, but J-Well's falling behind. Prev is falling behind. Necrolord banner comes up. Prev gets smacked by a huge execute. Grapple weapon under Revo, stalling his assault, but Necrolord banner comes up in 1 more second. If Revo gets a huge chop here with avatar, if he pulls the trigger on, he's not going for the Necrolord banner with avatar. Just waiting for it, waiting for an opportunity. And he's just holding on to it. He still has it. Likely wants to pair it up with the Warbreaker at least here. Revo stunned up. Master spelled out by J-Wa. Revo getting back on target, waiting for the earthen wall. Stun onto Brain. Dilbar, is he going to get in position for a Hex? Dilbar goes for the Hex. He's not able to find it. Now Dilbar into a Paralyze. J-Wa falls behind. Both Shadow Priests getting chunked down. Here's Necrolord banner. Warbreaker town. Prev is going to disperse and respect that cooldown. Revo's going to switch over and kill the Healing Tide Totem. I love that. Now Prev is going to fall further behind. Is he going to go down? He pops the Scythe Fiend to try and distract Revo from the kill. And the Scythe Fiend is going to soak up some of the attention, allowing Prev to survive. But Prev is now getting right on top of J-Wa, baiting them into a double leg sweep, double spinning crane kick, try and KO J-Wa. And this is a game that could come down to mana with only 30% remaining in both Shaman's tanks.
Yep, mana going to be a very important factor here in this match. Prev getting incredibly low. Rebel's all over him at this point, and he taken down. Prev on the run with that Tiger, so that's good backup there by Drake. Helping him to stay alive as well as that Ring of Peace. Good utility from that Monk. Prev has a moment to breathe, and Brain can finally top him off, but this has been such a back and forth game. Kind of wonder why Shadow Chicken wasn't running this from the start. Revel moving forward, still looking to find his target, but Prev doing a good job line of sighting. Does he intervene on J-Wa? Finally, a Stormbolt lands. Prev immediately trinkets out, so no medallion going to be available in the future to break out of that next Stormbolt. Drake has Bone Dust Brew active right now, but J-Wa has been really doing a great job mitigating that damage, and Drake has been struggling to get off that burst. However, there's a leg sweep up in 3 seconds. There's Wen. Drake has everything ready to go, but it is Prev on the back foot. J-Wa has to be careful. He gets caught into a leg sweep. This is all the cooldowns. It will be an immediate dispersion. Leg sweep and Zwen for the dispersion. Not a bad trade by J-Wa as Shadow Chicken stabilized.
Yeah, and now they are looking for Prev. Prev, no trinket, but he still has his dispersion. I would say he's still ahead. On Shadow Priest Race, big pressure coming in here, and Prev is ready to CC the trinket. If you can get the fear here, nice shutdown by Rebel. That was a very, very crucial Stormbolt right there because Prev is going to get a full fear and potentially silence Dilbar's trinket, but it might not matter. He gets the full fear. Shackles are out. The Scythe Fiend is out. Dilbar, what are you going to do? He gets the Spirit Link barely in the nick of time. They're able to save J-Wall, but here comes Drake, the Tasmanian Devil, looking to spin his way to another win. And he do it right now. Big damage coming out onto Dilbar of all people. He's left behind with his team. Prev just dragging Revel here behind the pillar. And it's going to be J-Wall still taking massive damage here from the Fist of Fury. Brain in a Hex. There's the Paralyze. And they're going for the finisher here. There's the Flesh Craft coming out from Revel. baiting out the Shake. J1 trinkets the leg sweep. Drake's all over him. He's got the Bone Duster. He's looking to dust him. There's the Void Shift. There's the Astral Shift coming out as well from Dilbar as his entire team. There's a 1%. J1 just gets absolutely cracked by Drake, and he's not done yet. There's another piece coming out here. Can Prev survive though as well on the flip side? He's still got Dispersion, and it's just gonna be Drake dusting the entire team here. Absolute dominance from this Windwalker. So much damage, but you gotta give it to Shadowwood Chicken. They made it such a competitive game here. Made it all the way to the end with the Warrior Shadow Priest, and I just wish that they had picked it sooner, because it would have been, every game would have been as close as this one.
I completely agree, Zico. They definitely didn't go down without a fight. Game number 3 looked really solid from them. I would have loved to see them lock that in as the blind as well, but we're going to see how it all went down in game number 3 right here.
Seems like
That
it's
was so-
spiraled.
Yeah,
I just feel like there's a huge momentum shift. Like right here, they get Dispersion. It felt pretty even for most of the game. Like even at this point, it still feels like it's kind of even. I think Dilbar gets punished on one of his hex attempts. And this is much earlier in the match. Like I'm just trying to figure out where the swing point was. Here Prev pushes up for crowd control. I think this gets the trinket Spirit Link, maybe just the Spirit Link. Dilbar tries to greet it, goes for Ascendance, gets stunned, and then Drake is still on target, full fear. Jwa fades. The Siphene gets killed off a little bit late, right? Like the Siphene got value. And then they dropped Spirit Link Totem here as a result. It wasn't 3 players. That actually might have made the difference. If Revo's health was also in that Spirit Link, it could have bought Jwa a little bit more time. And then Dilbar's just, he's going to have to spend all of his mana, right? Because now he's going to have to top himself. He has to still worry about the pressure that's coming onto Jwa. And he's just falling further and further behind. Here, the life swap, maybe. I think what Jwa's thought process here with the Void Shift is, well, they never target Shaman, so it'll be safe if the Shaman goes to low health right here. But maybe Revo had more health and he'd die by the sword. So it might have been a better trade to use it on Revo. And then he just takes another huge swing of damage. He's just not able to restabilize at all at this point. And Prev is also uncomfortable though. Like Revo is doing his best. Maybe Revo should have intervened back a little sooner to try and help him out, but it just seemed like as soon as Method NA had momentum, they never let go.
And with that victory as well on the side of Method, they have secured their spot in the top 3, so that's going to set themselves up nicely as they head into the North American Finals. So overall, Method NA, they really had an incredible season. It's a bit unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen more from Shadowward Chicken, seen all that these guys can do, because it kind of seems like, I feel like this kind of happened in the circuit last time as well. We saw a lot of teams kind of pull things together as you go sort of at the last minute.
Yeah, and that's sometimes it's too late, and sometimes it's not. Shadowwood Chicken, they would have loved to get a win here on the board, but I feel like they were definitely up against the tough though. Them just regrouped, figure out what comps you want to run, figure out the blind picks better, and be more willing to bring in Jwa. I think for them, it's they could still make it. Maybe it depends on how the other games go. The thing about NA, you know, it's such a cutthroat region that maybe just losing this game is what decides it for them. So it's a tough competition, but that's how it goes when you have kind of 3 set items in Cloud9, Method NA, Unitas now.
Yeah, it was definitely going to be a difficult series for these guys from the beginning, and they did get Method NA did leave with a 3-0, so well done to them. But you know, like I said in the beginning, and kind of to Zico's point, every single one of these series in North America moving forward is going to be determining a lot of things in terms of standings and placements as well within the bracket as we head into the finals for this region. So definitely be paying attention. We're also going to be updating you guys as things go along, and of course we'll recap on the standings at the end of the day as we wrap up this region. Up next, we've got Golden Guardians versus Hamsters and Hares. We are going to head to a break after that, however, so definitely stick around. This is another big matchup, and I'm excited to see what exactly we're going to see in the blind pick from these two. Also, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to head to a break, and then we've got Golden Guardians versus Hamsters and Hares coming up next.
Bastion shall be laid to waste. None can escape the storm. storm. You, a fool to face me. None can escape the storm. Such a futile effort. None can escape the storm. None can escape the storm.
A victory well earned. You have proven that none of the weapons in Zoval's arsenal can best you.
A fraction